Good evening, sim racing fans across the globe, and welcome to another edition of the Real Sim Racing Outlaw Truck Series here on LSRTV. It's going to be wild and crazy tonight. We kick things off from one of the jewels of the West Coast, the 2 Mile Auto Club Speedway of Southern California, and welcome you inside of the Inside Sim Racing Broadcast Tower. Jacob Seelman along for the ride with you for tonight's broadcast, along with Andy Kessler. Cisco Scaramouche are going to be joining us down on pit road here in just a couple of minutes. Andy, Fontana, one of the favorite racetracks on the schedule for most of the RSR competitors. Add the trucks into this mix, and it's going to be a fun night. You talk about drafting, you talk about 3 wide, 4 wide. This track's wide enough for it. It's going to be a whole lot of fun, and I promise you, there's going to be something we don't expect tonight, especially considering this just race 2 of 10 for this Outlaw Truck Series in 2015-2016.
Yeah, these guys are just getting their feet wet. Obviously, we had some issues with iRacing last week, so that postponed the race, but till the end of the season, I believe, for Atlanta. So that just saves one of the, I guess, better tracks for the trucks for the end of the season, which will be awesome to end the season out with there. But yeah, this is Fontana is definitely a place that the trucks get very racy here. That, like you said, the draft comes into play real tremendous amount, especially on these straightaways. All your momentum carrying off the corners is key to this race. But it is a fun track. You can go 3, 4 wide. We'll see different grooves open up as the race goes on. Different lanes for passing. It's all about where your driving style will lead you.
And we've definitely got a lot of scenarios, a lot of storylines to talk about over the course of this night, Andy. With just one race in the record books, it definitely stands to reason that there's going to be a lot of things to keep an eye on over the course of the next 9. You know, we're coming off 2 weeks ago, the closest finish in Outlaw Truck Series history, and by all accounts, from my math, the second closest finish in RSR history to date. Going all the way back to the league's launch on the iRacing service. It's, you know, we talk about Daytona being unbelievable. We almost had one of the young guns win it. It ends up being a veteran in Scott Simley go to victory lane, but that's had me excited for the last 2 weeks as far as being able to get this done and be able to really have another good race tonight. I think we've drummed up the enthusiasm, and these drivers are excited too.
Yeah, you know, and of course, last week being at Daytona, one of those racetracks where, you know, everybody in the race has a chance or an opportunity to win. It's all about surviving the mayhem, which like Scott Simley and Alex Bergeron did last week, and ended up putting on a great finish to that one. But now we get into a track where it's not, you know, you actually have to drive the car this time. You can't rely on a draft with which line to pick or anything like that. You actually got to pick your own line, put the driving into the driver's hands here tonight. So that's the first race on the schedule that these guys will have to do this. And we got to keep an eye, like you said, with storylines. A bunch of big names in the series that had some issues last week, getting caught up in some wrecks. Guys like Anthony DeBarros, who finished 19th in the race at Daytona a couple weeks ago. So just big names like that guys that got to rebound. It is such a short series in length as far as races, so you really can't have too many bad weeks. You get a couple of bad in a row, it's going to be your chances for the championship are going to be pretty much done.
Exactly right. And real quickly, want to throw it down to Cisco Scaramuza before we get started. Cisco, what have you been hearing as we go through qualifying here tonight?
Well, I've really been impressed. We talked about him last week. We talked about him just now, really. Alex Bergeron, kind of the young gun of the field. And he's been really impressive, a really young kid on the service. He's one of the youngest drivers I've actually seen race, and he's in second right now on the qualifying board, and that's really impressed me. But another big storyline we're seeing up there, running third and fourth right now on the board, is the 41, the 89. That's Corbin Hemstreet and Eberhardt. If you tuned into us on LSRTV Monday night, you'll remember those two had a little bit of a run-in in the Xfinity series. So I think it'll be interesting there. You know, these drivers, they do have memories, and, you know, these two, they kind of roughed each other a little bit up on Monday night, and I wouldn't be surprised if, you know, maybe little things come through Monday night and might come out in the race tonight. But it should be interesting here. It's going to be, you know, a decently long race. We're looking at about 90 laps, 2 miles. You know, it's not too bad as far as we're looking at the temps right now. It's 65, so we aren't seeing, you know, the hot temperatures we saw last night at Atlanta. But, you know, it's going to be a really interesting race, and you got to love this 2-mile track. A lot of character, a lot of bumps, but it's a fun place to race.
We're getting ready to kick it off. Qualifying getting ready to come to a close, Andy. Are you surprised at any of the names at the top of the grid right now as we get ready to wrap it?
Yeah, I mean, a couple guys we don't talk to much. Like you talked about, the rookie Alex Bergeron, seeing him up there. But then you got all those heavy hitters just behind these guys. Corbin Hemstreet, DeBarro, Eberhardt, Thomas J. George in there sitting 7th right now in the qualifying order. So you got to see all these veterans that are up there in the board, not at the top spot, but I expect to see them make some headway early on.
We're going to get ready to roll here, and Andy, we're going to take a look now at the LSRTV starting grid. You mentioned a mix of rookies and veterans tonight. Let's take a look down the grid.
Yeah, we'll do that. And looking right now on the pole here tonight is in the number 87. That's Justin Michael with a 39.467. So a fast time for him. Starting right to his outside, though. There's the rookie, the number 1, Alex Bergeron. Just a mere 3/100ths of a second off of his time. So a great job by both of those guys. Starting third tonight will be the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet. Anthony DeBarro is going to start 4th. And on the inside of row number 3, that's the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt. His outside will be the number 4, CJ Lavere. Thomas J. George is going to start 7th. 8th goes to Stefan Marinak. Bobby Wetzel will start 9th. And rounding out the top 10 tonight, that number 11 of Dwayne Vincent.
Starting 11th is going to be the 54, Tim Matthews. To his outside was our big winner 2 weeks ago now, Scott Simley. Chad Coleman starts 13th, and Matt Lacrosse to his outside will start 14th. Austin Yarbrough in the 31, he's going to start 15th. TJ Kelly's going to go to his outside. Mike Kelly right behind them starts 17th. 18th to Aaron Bennett. 19th to Kevin Linden, and Mark Bratcher rounds out your top 20.
That 21st starting spot's going to go to the 16 of Steve Ritter. 22nd tonight is the 90 of Ross Cato. The 84 of Jimmy North's going to roll off in that 23rd spot. While just to his outside, that 44 of Paul Fugate will start 24. 25th tonight, Brian Harvey. And the 3 of Donald Jenks will start 26. 27th goes to Randy McCanney. Doug Roth will start 28th. 29th goes to the 04 of Rodney Perry. And Travis Burks will start 30th.
John Abbott rolls off the grid in 31st. Sean Haverly, he'll start 32nd. John Erlers, he starts 33rd. Scott Bolster, his outside, will start 34th. Christopher Gore, he'll start 35th. Donovan Johns starts 36th. And rounding out your field, Chad Cole starts 37th.
That's a look at your starting grid tonight here on LSRTV and presented by iRacing.com, the world leader in motorsport simulation. Andy, we're just about set to roll. What are you looking for tonight?
I'm looking to see how the start's going to be for these guys. They can, for the first couple laps, really hold this thing wide open. The problem with doing that, though, it's going to start wearing the tires out quickly, and they'll start pushing up in the corners, which then that bottom line will not prevail. Should see the faster line, though, be about one groove up, probably in that first seam that you see off of that white line. That's going to be where you're going to see the majority of the fast guys running, especially throughout the run, as long as they can save their tires. But tires will be a factor here. We'll hear about more of that from Cisco as the night goes on, and we'll see if anybody tries that old two-tire strategy at this place.
Field rolling down towards turn number 3, and before we kick things off, we are glad for all of you who have tuned in tonight here on LSRTV to take in round number 2 of the RSR Outlaw Truck Series. A lot of great things ahead, and special thanks to Ippy's Paint Shop coming on board to help Real Sim Race and make all of this possible, as Justin Michael going to have the field in hands, that 87 machine, as they get ready to come off turn number 4. Going to lead the field of the American Ethanol Green Flag tonight, Auto Club Speedway, the 2-mile oval, and the Jewel of the Desert, whatever you call it. We are just about set to go green flag racing here for round 2 of the Outlaw Trucks. Pace car going to head for pit road, again field in the hands of Justin Michael, and they are going to see the American Ethanol Green Flag fly. We're underway as the field roars off towards turn number 1. Michael going to slide in, and we're rolling.
Yeah, Michael doing a great job on that inside lane there, able to take advantage. 3 wide behind him, though, for that 4th spot. The 1, Alex Bergeron, had some issues going through 1 and 2 right there. He's going to fall in line, looks like about that 6-7 spot right now. Still 3 wide, though. He's got the 4 of CJ LeVere and the 94 right there, Thomas J. George, to the inside on the bottom. They've now finally scored it out to double wide here. 4 wide now behind these guys as they go. The 31 of Austin Yarborough right in the mix of it here on the front straightaway.
This is how chaotic it gets in the early going at Auto Club. They're fighting for the lead. They're fighting for 4th. They're fighting all the way through the top 10 just about, Andy. And the lead trying to change hands, but the guy we're all watching, I think, right now is Thomas George, that 94. He loves this place. He's said it more than once, and he's trying to make his way to the front early.
Yeah, he was talking about this quite a bit, actually, over the last couple of weeks. Really looking forward to this track, and it's one of those racetracks. As long as you can keep your momentum up with your trucks, is fairly easy to do. Well, I say it's easy to do because I'm up here watching it, but, it's one of those places that if you can keep your momentum over the course of the long run, it's definitely a place that you can have some success. And Thomas J. George right now sitting in that 5th spot, doing a great job at that. Corbin Himstreet, though, has taken over the lead, and Anthony DeBarro sits in that 2nd spot while the battle for 3rd now heats up. Eberhardt now looking to the inside of the 87 of Justin Michael. Justin Michael slipping back just a bit. Something we pretty much thought was going to happen. We start seeing some of these heavy hitters really take force here early on, and that's what they're doing. As Michael now gets passed also by the 94 Thomas J. George, so move George up to that 4th spot now as they come down the front straightaway, still single file.
They're trying to be single file, but the battle for the lead goes and is going to swing the way, I think, of Anthony DeBarro by the time they get to turn number 1. Corbin led the 3rd circuit around by just the narrowest of margins, 2 1,000ths of a second. Now DeBarro rolling into the top spot and trying to run away. He's got a 3-car length advantage down the back, and the battle's going to be on between Daniel Eberhardt, Corbin Himstreet. Those two going at it for P2 in turn 3, and they've got George all over their rear deck lid.
Yeah, George watching on, trying to figure out which way to go. Now as Eberhardt peeks to the inside off of turn number 4, he's going to battle now side by side for that 2nd spot with Corbin Himstreet. Got the run and got the bottom line is what he's wanting right now. Corbin Himstreet already starting to fall back here after the first couple of laps. He's going to find some heat now from Thomas J. George now as they work their way off of turn number 2.
And down the back straightaway, so Boomtown rolling towards the front, and DeBarro really has made a nice run early in the go-in. Started on the outside of row number 2, but has methodically worked his way towards the front of this field as they're trying to go almost 3 wide back behind them. Battle going on now for just about 6th, 7th, and 8th. Stefan Marinak in the 96 trying to make some moves as we complete lap number 5. Marinak climbs to 7th, and he's looking for more on Bergeron.
Yeah, he is trying to look for a little bit more right now as they work their way through 1 and 2 right now. Alex Bergeron. Oh, we got trouble just behind these guys. Looks like the 87 right there. No caution out. Justin Michael having some issues coming off of turn number 4 there. He's going to lose a ton of spots right now. Looks like all the way back past the 20th spot right now. No caution. Stay green on the racetrack, so a good save by him to keep it up. But the guy who started on the pole having trouble early.
And I think there was a lot of conversation on the radio through all that as well. Cisco, any word on the 87?
It looked like what happened there to Justin Michael. He tagged the apron just a little bit, and that just upset the truck enough. And around he went. He was able to hold it straight, but talking to Daniel Eberhardt before the race, he said that's the one place you don't want to go is that apron. He wished we could go down there because, you know, you might get a little bit more run on these guys to run that bottom line to try and get that edge, but it's just so treacherous. You tag that line even once and, you know, you're not careful, bye-bye.
Exactly right. Continuing to work through the early laps here, Anthony DeBarro has started to open up the gap. It's now 8 car lengths, almost 3/4 of a second over Daniel Eberhardt. His teammate Corbin Hemstreet, DeBarro's teammate, rides 3rd. Thomas George 4th. C.J. LeVere up to 5th with his teammate Stefan Marinac just behind. But how about the early charge for one of the drivers that started near mid-pack, Andy, the 84 of Jimmy North, that Night Stalker Motorsports truck, really coming on strong, 23rd to 13th for the 84 in the early going.
Yeah, and right now he's got 2 trucks, I should say, right in front of him. That's the 21 of Matt Lacrosse, the 54 of Tim Matthews battling real hard, side by side off turn number 4. That's not going to give Jimmy North anywhere to go currently. He's going to look to the bottom side and maybe follow that 21.
Shoot the middle, maybe?
Well, he might try it, but it's not one of the safest places to be is in the middle. You'd have nowhere to go, whether it's down or up. You're going to get into another truck. So a smart move right there is going to follow Matt Lacrosse, get around the 54 of Tim Matthews, move him up another spot. Jimmy North already up 11 spots.
He is quietly making his way very well through the field, and now going to go to work on Matt Lacrosse into turn number 3. That Lowe's Chevrolet Silverado. Right to the bottom goes the 84 of Jimmy North as he works off turn number 4. He's going to pick off another one and actually get the 2-for-1 special this lap as they cross the stripe. He picks his way through the field to 11th. Problem being, this is still 4.5 seconds behind race leader Anthony DeBarro. We're working lap number 10. DeBarro working nearly a full second out in front. The battle, though, is on for 4th. C.J. LeVere and his teammate Stefan Marinac putting on a really nice scrap. 4.96 headed for 3.
Yeah, they're putting on a great job right now with 4 guys actually in that mix. The 11 right behind him, Dwayne Vincent, who's made some progress in the early going, and the 1 of Alex Bergeron looking on with this battle right now just in front of them. C.J. LeVere trying to get a run, getting that draft as they go down the front straightaway. Not going to be enough this time into turn 1 to peek a nose in, but a good job so far by all these guys as they start to fall back. This is almost one of those tracks that you could have a fast truck. You're sitting in that mid-pack area. You're still running lap times the same as the leader. It almost plays like a short track when it comes to track position. That's what this track will end up doing like that, because one little slip up in a corner, you lose a little bit of momentum. You're going to lose half a second to a second on just one lap. So it's a tough track to be very consistent lap after lap. And the only person currently doing that right now is that 9 truck of Anthony DeBarro.
Yeah, DeBarro sits out front. It is now a full second that he has put on the rest of this field. DeBarro leads the way, and Daniel Eberhardt continuing to try and challenge. He rides P2 with Corbin Hemstreet, Stefan Marinac, and C.J. LeVere, the rest of the top 5. From Auto Club Speedway in California, Anthony DeBarro, your leader. You're watching the RSR Outlaw Truck Series here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Oh no.
Truex on the outside, contact made. 56 slides it at a 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Monza is a very historic track. It's been around since the 20s, and it's gone through several permutations since then. We're also bringing forward a number of configurations. So there's chicanes that they've installed since the track's early days. So they can use original, very high-speed configurations of the track where the cars would just blow through where the chicanes are today, or they could use a more modern version. So it's a pretty cool, compelling track. The unique thing about Monza is it has a road course, but it also has a high-speed oval. And that high-speed oval can be run by itself. The Grand Prix course can be run by itself. And they also can be run together in a combined circuit, which is very unique and special in motorsports. This was one of the more challenging projects that we've undertaken. It was essentially building two tracks in one.
Welcome back to LSRTV, now working lap number 17 here in tonight's RSR Outlaw Truck Series event from the Auto Club Speedway in Fontana. The Auto Club 180 continuing to roll on, and we're almost to the 1/4 mark of this event. Not quite. Anthony DeBarro remains your race leader for RCO Boomtown Sim, out in front by a 1.5 seconds over Daniel Eberhardt, who is starting to fall back into the clutches a little bit of the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet in a battle for the second position. Hemstreet trying to make something happen, and trouble for the race leader off turn 2. DeBarro gets a piece of the fence. That's going to bring the battle right back among the top 3.
Yeah, not much of a battle right there as Eberhardt just shoots right by him there going into turn number 3. Brings Corbin Hemstreet right to his back bumper now. Almost giving him a shot there off of turn number 4. Gives him a little bit of room there. Lets off the throttle. Thank goodness for that for Anthony DeBarro. But move that Eberhardt 89 machine up to that top spot. Now Hemstreet looks to the inside for second.
Corbin makes the move down to the bottom of the racetrack. Barrow not going to put up a lot of resistance here. He's going to let his teammates slide on through. So Hemstreet makes the move to the number 2 position, and Anthony DeBarro going to slot back in third. They're going to try to draft back up to the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt, who holds the race lead now by 2 truck lengths over Hemstreet, who rolls into second. What this has really done is allowed fourth on back to make up a decent amount of time as well. Alex Bergeron now only a 1.5 seconds off this battle for the lead. The young rookie in fourth doing a brilliant job right now ahead of 2 veterans in CJ LeVere and Thomas George. That's where a big scrap's going on, and that's where the battle for 5th is, turn 1.
Yeah, great job right now. CJ LeVere on the outside right now. He's got the 94, Thomas George to the inside. He's going to slide up the racetrack, take that spot. Here comes Vincent now. Vincent to the inside of the 4 of LeVere. The 31 just behind him, looking on, trying to figure out where to go. That's another rookie, Austin Yarborough, making a good name for himself right now as Thomas J. George now almost comes down and blocks the 11 on the entry. That's going to kill the momentum with Dwayne Vincent, give the outside lane of LeVere the advantage here going to straightaway. But, it looks like Thomas J. George may have gotten a wall there off turn 4. If he didn't, it was awfully close. Now he's going to lose 4 spots before they head to 1.
Meanwhile, change for the lead. Corbin Himstreet around the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt takes over the top spot with 20 laps complete. Again, coming up on the quarter distance mark, and there must be a little bit of damage on the right side of the 9 truck of DeBarro. He's really starting to fall back now. Cisco, any word over the radio?
Yeah, he's got a little bit of damage, and also I think he was using those tires up a little bit, but you can see it kind of right behind the right front tire. There's a little bit of scratch on there. Meanwhile, another truck that had a little bit of damage there was that 94, Thomas George. Looks like he got in the wall as well, and also lost it going into turn 2, and you can see a little bit of left rear damage on that truck as well. So a couple of these trucks made the tires are starting to fall off on these guys, but it's still a huge train back behind the 31 of Austin Yarborough, and a bunch of those trucks right there looking like, you know, they've lost a little bit of the handling there, and they've kind of all bunched up together now.
Andy, are you surprised that we've seen this run go green through the opening stint like it has? I mean, I know we talk about this track having 4 or 5 groups to be able to race, but I think that also meant we expected that these guys were going to mix it up a good bit and maybe cause a little bit of trouble in the early going. Instead, 22 laps now up on the board, no caution.
Yeah, I'm not surprised. This track can do that. It can tend to put out long green flag runs. We've seen it in pretty much any series that you do here. It is the starts and the restarts that typically cause the issues. On this one there, we did see some guys mix it up. Just everybody was able to make the right moves, get in the right spots, and avoid any type of major catastrophe. So a great job by all these guys on the start of this race here. And now we got the looks of a lot of green flag racing. We got some nice little packs racing each other right now. I'm keeping an eye on that one around that 10 spot right now where they're 3 wide coming out of turn number 4. That's CJ LeVere on the inside. He's got the 84. Jimmy North on the inside, still looking to make up more ground.
Jimmy North up to 9th now as we work into turn number 1. They're 3 wide right there around him. He's trying to get around Stefan Marinak. That would be the battle for 8th. That gets real tight real quick off turn number 2. They'll go side by side down the back with Marinak able to use the momentum on the high lane to hold North at bay for the moment. He falls back in line inside, just inside the top 10 in the 9th position, and a challenge from the 68 of Scott Simley, your Daytona winner. They're going at it off 4.
Yeah, Simley was able to ride the momentum an extra week, having the off week last week. So Simley, our defending race winner, if you want to say, in the season opener at Daytona. He's making a good run here tonight so far. Hasn't moved up too much. Started 12th. He's in that 10th spot. So he's obviously got a truck that's pretty decent right now. Obviously, probably hoping to make some adjustments maybe on pit road when they come down, or maybe just get some track position. He's definitely running some decent lap times. Probably needs another restart to maybe get himself some extra spots here. But starting 12th, he started on the outside. Typically not the place you want to be on a restart. You want to be on that bottom side where you can really hold it wide open.
We're going to take a look now as we're 25 laps into the Auto Club 180 tonight and take a look through the field, give you an update on each of your top 10 drivers, starting with the race leader, Corbin Himstreet, who took the lead 6 laps ago and now has pulled out to a half-second advantage over the driver who rides second in the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt. And for Himstreet, it's been a very quiet, very solid run here early in the going. He's not said a lot. He's been able to learn from his teammate Anthony DeBarro and really be able to be consistent through this opening run. But behind him, Andy, the 89 Daniel Eberhardt, a driver who picked up his first RSR win a couple weeks ago in the Icebreaker Series, would like to add a truck win to that resume and holding a pretty steady wheel right now as well.
Yeah, we talked to him before the race. I mean, his ultimate goal is to make it to that Full Throttle Cup Series. Obviously, a good run in the Icebreaker Series over the course of the season, and here in the trucks. Running up front definitely will give him an opportunity in the eyes of the admins of the league to give him a shot in that Full Throttle Cup Series when it starts up here this coming February. But Eberhardt's been fast all night. I think conserving his tires is where he needs to be right now. He's been able to maintain about a half-a-second deficit right now to Corbin Himstreet. And as they continue this run right now, that puts him in prime position of where he needs to be.
And Andy, you talked about conserving tires, and I think that was the whole strategy on our third place runner right now, Alex Bergeron. He was actually a little slow on the initial start there, kind of fell back to around the 6th position, but was able to actually save a little bit of tire there, and he's come back through passing a couple trucks here and has made its way back up to third. He's run a pretty decent pace right now, but he's kept that truck clean, and he's looking really stout right now, our young rookie. But right in his tire tracks is that 31 of Austin Yarbrough, another rookie here to RSR.
Yeah, exactly right, Cisco. Yarbrough in 4th in that 31 truck, trying to hunt down his rookie companion. Those two going to get ready to go at it for the 3rd spot here in a minute. And Yarbrough's one that we were watching during the season opener at Daytona. Thought he was going to have a truck that was able to contend for the victory. Got swept up in one of the late race big ones and really wasn't able to be a serious threat in the final laps. Has come back with renewed focus and a positive attitude coming into tonight's race. And again, hunting down that 3rd position is Austin Yarbrough. Behind him, Andy, the driver who led so much of this early race, Anthony DeBarro.
Yeah, Anthony DeBarro in that 9. He's actually going to come down pit road this time to get some tires and maybe fix that right side damage right there. As long as he's not caught speeding, it's going to be awfully close right there on his pit road entry there. But Anthony DeBarro having obviously a fast race truck, able to take the lead away from everybody on the early going. Had some trouble there, a tight condition, got him in turn number 2, got him up into the wall, put a lot of damage to that right side of the truck. And for him, that's going to cause him to have to come down probably a little bit early. This should be in the scheduled window for these guys. 4 tires, fuel, a little bit of damage fixed for that 9. He'll be off and running.
Yeah, that's a look through the field at your top 5 right now. The leaders are in. Corbin Hemstreet, Daniel Eberhardt down towards pit road. Bergeron almost spins it and now gonna save it barely on the entrance to pit road. Cisco, that was right in front of you.
That was incredible. He came off the top banking, I think realized at the last second that people were coming down pit road, decided at the last minute to come down pit road, and had about the wiliest pit road entrance, but he saved it. So it's going to be interesting here to see if he was caught speeding or anything like that. If he wasn't, it'll be a miracle, but he's going to come right down into that number 2 pit stall right now. Right behind him is Corbin Hemstreet. 4 tires going to be the call for the number 41 Race Chaser Online Speed 77 Chevrolet. Meanwhile, right behind him, the 89 Eberhardt gets going right now. A great pit stop for that team. He's out and away right now. 41 going to follow him. It looks like Bergeron did not have a penalty, so a great job by that one truck behind him. Coleman, as well as the 96 and the 94, that's George and Marinac are coming out right behind him.
What a roll here in this early stages, and we'll continue to watch pit stops cycle out here. The new leader of this race is the rookie in the 31 of Austin Yarbrough, who has stayed out a couple of laps here. We're working lap number 32 as the leaders ride. Yarbrough, Jimmy North, Dwayne Vincent, Matt Lacrosse, Bobby Wetzel, the top 5. Will take you through pit stops here shortly. And I'm beginning to wonder, Cisco, as you listen to the guys on the radio, if we're not seeing the fuel window's tight, but you might be able to make it work. Are we seeing possibly the evolution of guys on a 1-stop versus a 2-stop strategy here?
It's definitely a possibility, and we're seeing right now. Take a look at the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet. You know, a little bit of time. That's tires right there for you. You know, he's out there on fresh tires. Meanwhile, Austin Yarbrough still on the tires we started. But yeah, I think that's a strong possibility. We talked about it, 90 laps. So, you know, you split it in half. That's 45, 46 laps. You're looking maybe trying to save. Maybe have fresher tires. You run maybe even 50 if you want to. But it's gonna be an interesting call on strategy. But it'll be interesting.
Can they make Cisco? Can they make it on fuel doing it in one stop?
Yeah, it's gonna be close. I mean, I think definitely a caution would help a lot of these, you know, drivers and their crew chiefs and make them feel a little bit better about doing it. But it's gonna be close. Not really sure yet, but it's gonna be close. We got these new setups, so I'm not really sure how the fuel mileage will pan out with that. But like I said, it's gonna be close.
I think I heard that about 4 times in that description right there. The Larry McReynolds calculator is going to be burning up, I can tell, here over the next course of this run. Right now, though, 34 laps into the Auto Club 180, Austin Yarbrough, Dwayne Vincent, Matt Lacrosse, Bobby Wetzel, Chad Cole. Your top 5 will be back for more green flag action right after this, and hopefully the stops for your current group of leaders from Auto Club Speedway. You're watching LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Our research shows drivers won a league with no
cheating,
kids wrecking me,
admin favoritism, multiple fast repairs,
intentional wrecks.
Drivers we interviewed also won a league with
clean competitive racing, clear-cut rules,
enjoys having all the drivers,
a full field of drivers,
end-of-year cash purse,
follows the rules on a constant basis.
At Domino's TYJ Racing, we listened to the drivers and created a league with high integrity and professionalism, just like Domino's Pizza has maintained for the last 55 years. Claim your share of the over $3,000 purse by applying today at Domino'sTYJRacing.com for one of the few remaining Cup car rides or your seat in our action-packed truck series.
Yo, I dropped the 88, Ricky Bobby, shake and bake, sleeping on it, should've stayed awake, huh?
Once its sights are set, nothing can stop the ferocious lion from capturing its prey. Relying on keen senses, lions search patiently before striking with alarming speed. Wait for it. Gotcha, Mr. Piece of Rubbish. He is truly the master of his environment. Do good, be a lion.
Cars are lined up on the grid. The RE.com World Championship Grand Prix Series. We are underway. They all come down into turn one for the first time.
Welcome back to LSR TV and coverage of the RSR Outlaw Truck Series from Auto Club Speedway. Jacob Seelman, Andy Kessler in the broadcast booth, Cisco Scaramuza down trackside. We're working a couple of different pit strategies here as we roll through the middle stages of the Auto Club 180 tonight. Austin Yarborough, Dwayne Vincent, Matt Lacrosse, Chad Cole, Tim Matthews, Mark Bratcher, Bobby Wetzel, TJ Kelly, Ross Cato, Randy McCanny, your top 10, along with Steve Ritter, John Abbott, Donovan Johns. These drivers all right now on a one-stop strategy. They have not come to pit road. They are giving up some time on the racetrack, but they're hoping the time they save on pit road is going to be enough to keep them out in front at lap 90 when it matters most. Daniel Eberhardt, Corbin Himstreet, Alex Bergeron, and those behind them from the 14th position on back did come in at the 1/3 mark of this race for tires. They are bearing down on your race leaders, and Austin Yarborough nearly slices down. It is getting dicey, Andy. These guys really starting to push the limit to try and get around this 31 here. He is really not making it easy on anybody. Thomas George in the 94 trying to unlap himself, and it is getting ugly now around this battle for the lead lap. And with the race leader who slices all the way to the bottom of the racetrack, it's really getting messy in turn 3.
Yeah, it is. I think the 31 radioed in that they're coming down pit road, and it looks like he's slowing down to do that right now, but he's doing that all right in front of Thomas J. George and cut him off a couple times there coming down pit road. Obviously, listen, he's a rookie in the series. Got to learn some stuff here or whatever. I mean, probably would have been a better off deal staying low off of turn 2 instead of going up on the wall and letting those guys have the run to the inside. But listen, you live and you learn, and that's what he's doing right now. Austin Yarborough, though, deciding to come down pit road. on lap 42.
Cisco.
And right now, he's pulled into his pit stall. 4 tires going to be the call for the 31. In the meantime, on the break, I was able to walk down to the 44 pit of Paul Fugate, talk to his crew a little bit. They said, maximum they're going to be looking at for a run is about 50 laps. So, we're looking at Yarbrough just came in on his lap 42. So he should be able to make it, but you can tell that truck has a little bit of damage on that right rear. A little bit there might upset a little bit of the handling, and we saw how he was starting to get run over by a lot of these guys who have taken tires. So it's going to be interesting here to see if it'll work and how much time he gives up. Meanwhile, a couple more trucks still staying out there on track.
Yeah, how about the wily old veterans? They're not old, but they fuss when we say that, so we like to get under their skin a little bit, Andy. Dwayne Vincent, Chad Cole, Matt Lacrosse, your top 3 right now. All 3 of them, I think, going to be about splitting the distance, go 45 and 45. Vincent, that Parker Store Chevrolet Silverado is your current race leader. Let's see if we can't rouse the production booth and go on board with the number 11 of Vincent to take a lap around this Auto Club Speedway. This is one of the best guys in the business to make it happen, and this 11 truck has been rock solid, Andy, all night long.
Yeah, he's doing a great job. He's got a really good line. Obviously still giving up speed on the racetrack, but the truck looks very good, really stable, and I think that's probably one of the reasons why he decided to stay out this long, not take that two-stop strategy, instead go for the 1. You can see how he was saving his tires all throughout the race. He's able to still maintain that bottom line, even how old the tires are right now. He's going to come down pit road right now, right about that halfway point. So him along with Chad Cole, looks like Chad Cole's going to stay out at least one more lap, though. So he give him a lap lead that time.
And meanwhile,
Cole wants a bonus point. He's going to get a bonus point right there. And Cisco, the leader, headed towards you. Dwayne Vincent very happy with his race truck tonight.
Yeah, as Andy was saying, that truck was really planted, but right behind him we see Tim Matthews in that 54, as well as Randy McCaney. He's come down pit road with TJ Kelly. Those guys are coming down. They're trying the one-stop strategy right now. 4 tires going to be the call on everyone's truck here. These guys want these tires. But here comes, it looks like the 90 is going to come down this time, though, so he's going to come onto pit road. But there goes the 11 right now. He's leaving. Right behind him is Donovan Johns, and that's 73. So those 2 guys will exit pit road here.
Chad Cole, the leader in the Die-Hard truck, now making his way onto pit road here with going to be right at the halfway point. 45 laps complete, and we're going to wait for things to cycle through. It looks like Matt Lacrosse officially going to be scored the leader of the halfway lap. Cole in for 4 tires and fuel, and by the time it all cycles out, Daniel Eberhardt in the 89, Andy, going to go back to the point, taking over the point by almost 2.5 seconds from Corbin Hemstreet, who did not have a good round of service in his machine.
Yeah, they came out pretty close, but Eberhardt was able on the fresh tires to pull away a little bit by a couple seconds, because he was actually sitting just under a second. It was about 3/4 of a second behind Hemstreet when they came down pit road. So he was able to get a good service done, come out ahead of him, and then able to pull away, obviously, on the racetrack as they run currently during this this run. So, yeah, eventually Eberhardt, that'll put him up to that top spot. It does right there that time by as Matt Lacrosse and the rest of the guys who didn't pit finally come down pit road to get service here at the halfway point. So we'll relinquish the lead back to that 89 truck of Eberhardt, but you got to remember he came down lap 30, so you got to put him around lap 60 to come back in again. That's only 13 laps from now.
We're just past halfway. Let's go ahead and take an LSRTV Midway race break presented by iRacing.com, the world leader in motorsport simulation. And look down the Ford Performance leaderboard here with now 47 laps going in the record books, this time by your race leader, Daniel Eberhardt. We were just talking about him in the number 89 machine. Second, the RCO Boomtown Sim entry, the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet. Behind him, the young rookie, Alex Bergeron in the 1. Veterans, Chad Coleman, Stefan Marinak, Jimmy North and Scott Simley make up positions 4 through 7, with C.J. LeVere in 8th. Another newcomer, Aaron Bennett, the 33, rides 9th, and the 24 of Mike Kelly, strong run for the Exalta entry, rounds out the top 10.
And you got the 94 Thomas J. George here having a decent run here tonight, sitting at 11th spot. 12th currently right now is the pole sitter Justin Michael. Austin Yarborough sits 13th on the standings. 14th goes to Doug Roth. Brian Harvey sits in that 15th spot. 16th goes to Kevin Linden. Anthony DeBarro with the trouble early on, has fallen all the way back to that 17th spot. 18th is Dwayne Vincent, who just came down for service for his truck. Paul Fugate runs 19th, and Chad Cole round out that top 20.
Yeah, behind Cole, Matt Lacrosse, 21st. Tim Matthews, 22nd. Mark Bratcher is 23rd. 24th to Rodney Perry, 25th. Bobby Wetzel. Randy McCanney is 26th. Ross Cato, 27th. 28th to TJ Kelly, the final truck on the lead lap. Steve Ritter, a lap down in 29th. And 30th is Travis Burks.
John Abbott in the 10 truck sits 31st, also a lap down. 32nd right now is Scott Bolster. John Ellers is 33rd. 34th, 2 laps down, is Donovan Johns. Donald Jenks is 4 laps down in 35th. And Sean Haverly and Christopher Gore round out the field in 36th, 37th. Multiple laps down, 29 and 40 respectively.
Yeah, both of those trucks are parked for the night. That's a look, though, at your Ford Performance Full Field Rundown. Working lap number 50. Ford, go further. An official partner of iRacing.com. Daniel Eberhardt, Corbin Himst.
Domino's TYJ Racing League is proud to announce we are now taking driver applications for our $2,500 purse inaugural season going green January 2016. At Domino's TYJ Racing League, you get paid cash, not gift cards or die casts. Cold, hard cash. You get paid for finishing 1st through 20th in our championship and 1st through 3rd, plus a lucky dog bonus in all of our 20 races, plus other cash bonuses. You're going to like the way you look. All the way to the bank. I guarantee it. Purse amount approximate, paid cash or iRacing bucks. Drivers carry less than $20. Report unsafe driving to local authorities. Apply today at Domino'sTYJRacing.com to see if you qualify for our league. And join our preseason Thunder tryout races Saturday nights at 8 p.m. through the end of 2015 to see if you have what it takes to make the cut and some cash. Domino's TYJ Racing League is proud to announce we are now taking driver applications for our $2,500 purse inaugural season going green January 2016. At Domino's TYJ Racing League, you get paid cash, not gift cards or die casts. Cold, hard cash. You get paid for finishing 1st through 20th in our championship and 1st through 3rd, plus a lucky dog bonus in all of our 20 races, plus
Welcome back to LSRTV from the Auto Club Speedway, working lap 55 of 90 for the Auto Club 180 for the RSR Outlaw Truck Series. Bring you topside back to the inside sim racing broadcast tower, where you'll find myself, Jacob Seelman, alongside Andy Kessler for coverage around 2 of 10 for the Outlaw Trucks. Cisco Scaramouza down on pit road and going to be very busy. Cisco is in a couple of laps when some of the lead trucks, we presume, are headed back towards the pit lane. One of the stories we want to follow up on, though, happened early in the race. Anthony DeBarro, one of the dominant trucks early on, led about 14 laps before he got into the wall at lap number 18, and since has fallen all the way back to 20th, 24 seconds off the lead. Cisco, I'll throw it down to you before we get ready for what we presume is going to be another round of green flag pit stops. Any further word on the 9? Has he said anything over the radio here during this second stint?
Well, he's really not happy with the truck right now, Jacob, and, obviously that, he cracked the wall, kind of lap 18. The truck hasn't been handling good ever since, but, speaking of green flag pit stops, they are actually starting to kick off now. The 94, Thomas George, he hits pit road. He's going to take 4, as well as the 33, Aaron Bennett. He also takes 4, so these guys are going to leave pit road right now.
Trouble on the racetrack down the front straightaway. We'll get back to Cisco in a moment, but the driver who had just taken second from Corbin Hemstreet, the one of Alex Bergeron, just popped the wall a ton coming down the front straightaway off the exit of turn number 4. Bergeron gives back second. He's going to give back a ton of time and major damage, at least from my vantage point, Andy, to the right side of that machine. He's struggling, fighting it now.
Yeah, he's really going to fight it now even more as after you hit the wall like that. It definitely scrubs speed off your truck, makes it a little tighter. That's what you don't want coming off these corners. It's what pushes you right up into the wall again. So he's going to have to hang on to it for a few more laps here, probably about 2 or 3 before he comes out pit road. He's on the same cycle as our 2 leaders, the guys running 1-2 right in front of him. So he's just got to hang on to it for a couple more laps. Hopefully the damage doesn't hurt him once he gets the fresh tires. But he's been very strong here all night long, and very impressed with the way this young rookie has been running in both races so far this season.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of us, both in the booth and on the racetrack, that are very impressed with this young rookie and the job he has done here in the first couple weeks of the Outlaw Truck season, racing like a veteran. A lot of these guys have said. Looking at the gap for the lead now, Andy, Corbin Hemstreet had chopped it down to about 1.3 seconds. It is ballooned now, more than doubled again. It's almost back to 3 full seconds. Daniel Eberhardt has over the 41 of Corbin Hemstreet. I've not really seen Corbin change his line all that much. I'm a little surprised at this.
Yeah, a couple laps before the one hit the wall off turn 4, Hemstreet actually had some trouble with the wall also. He got some damage on the right side, obviously scrubbed speed off, and that's going to give him the disadvantage to Eberhardt, seeing that Eberhardt's got a pretty clean race truck right now. So I think it's just a battle both Corbin and Alex Bergeron had, was just getting tight and getting into the wall there. So it looks like the one truck, though, is heading down to you, Cisco.
Yeah, he's heading right now, and the 48, meanwhile, is just leaving pit road to Kevin Linden. He just left pit road with 4 fresh Goodyears. Alex Bergeron now hits pit road. Daniel Eberhardt has radioed in, said he's pitting in this lap, so look to see our race leader coming in now. This is going to be the money stop. We talked about it before. These guys, they're on a 2-stop strategy, so this is the last pit stop. It's got to be good. Meanwhile, it looks like the 96 of Stefan Marinac, he is leaving pit road right now. Looks like, looking back, Eberhardt has just hit pit road now. Looks pretty clean, but he's going to head to his stall and assume take 4 tires, but I wonder if anyone's going to try 2 here. You know, it's not a bad idea.
Maybe, maybe not, Cisco, but what I started to say just before you hopped back on the mic there, Eberhardt was really hauling some speed coming to the entrance to pit road. I was nervous for a minute that he might not draw a speeding penalty. He came in really hot.
I guess we're gonna find out right now. It looked like the 66 of Harvey slid through his pit stall a little bit. 84 is also into Jimmy North, but no, Eberhardt pulls away from his pit stall. No penalty, so he was able to maximize everything he could get on pit road, and he's gonna come out. And right now, I believe the guy he's gonna be racing right now, it looks like Corbin. I believe, unless he's still out there. So he might be trying to one-stop it, maybe looking for a caution here as that 41 truck.
There's no way. He would have to go, gosh, he'd have to 60, go just about right? 60 full laps here, Andy. There's no way the 41 makes it. I have to imagine he's just giving up a little bit of time here, maybe saving a few extra laps of good on those tires so he can have the freshest run at the end and maximize what he can do on those fresh rubbers.
Yeah, he's probably trying to, obviously I'm not in the truck, but I think he's trying to maybe minimize the gap that guys like the 11 of Dwayne Vincent, he's probably trying to cut into that just a bit so his tires are pretty fresh there on this last run, so that way he's, at least able to have something for these guys and maybe be able to catch them. But we'll have to see. Only time will tell, obviously, especially if this thing stays green, but if we end up with a caution, obviously, that throws the whole thing right out the window.
Well, that's what Corbin's banking on. I just got word over the radio from his crew chief, Mitch Rollo, that because of the damage to the right side of the truck, they're trying to hold on as long as they can out front, hope for a caution, and see if they can't make their way down pit road. But right now, with the way this race has gone, you've got to wonder whether we can get a caution all the guys now that are behind Corbin are the drivers that were on the one-stop strategy. Austin Yarborough, Dwayne Vincent, who's just made a pass of Yarborough, albeit 16 seconds behind Corbin, who is the race leader right now. That would be provisionally for the lead when Hemstreet makes his way down pit road. Right now, though, he is staying out here with 64 of 90 complete, just 26 laps to go.
Yeah, and I look at the scoring loops and where everybody sits right now. Obviously, Dwayne Vincent gonna go to the end, but it's like 20 seconds back currently right now to Eberhard. Eberhard's got to make up 20 seconds in about 25 laps, so he's really got to be on the gas here, and it's going to be a tough one for him to make up that time. And we'll just have to see how things shake out, and if he's able to at least get back up into maybe the top 5 here before this thing's all said and done. But it looks like we almost had trouble right there with Marinak off of turn number 4, the 96. Getting a little loose, getting right in front of our lead, or was our leader, the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt. He was able to save it. Eberhardt takes over that spot now, moves him up into that 14th spot. Now it's only 19 seconds away.
Yeah, but the problem is here, if you are what was the race leaders of Daniel Eberhardt, you've got to make up 20 seconds in 25 laps, but you've also got to do it fighting through traffic and passing guys. And Cisco, I know that the 89 right now is coming over the radio trying to get help from some of these guys who are ahead of him. I mean, all of these are battles for position right now. They're not just going to lay over.
No, but one of the good things is Daniel Eberhardt is very good at, making those gaps happen. He's a very aggressive driver, but he's not reckless. He's able to make these moves and, get these positions and get it done. So I think he's going to be one of the best guys we're looking at right now who might be able to make this happen. But he really doesn't have anyone to race as far as, on the same strategy. Because I'm looking back, the next truck on that same strategy is that number 1 of Bergeron. Bergeron is well back. It looks like at least a second and a half back of Eberhard. So Eberhard's got a big lead on him. But Eberhard, he's really going to have to push here. But he's making up some really good time. He's cut that gap, I think, in about 3 or 4 laps from 36 to 32 seconds back up to the lead of Corbin Hemstreet, and that's kind of what we're using to gauge this.
It's right now it's only 17 and a half seconds between Eberhard and what would be the battle for the lead as far as strategy goes, he and Matt Lacrosse, Cisco. So what we're keeping an eye on right now is, this 89 is in clean track for a few minutes. That's where he's got to maximize his time made up. If he doesn't maximize when he's got the clean track, he'll lose time when he's in traffic, and that's what you can't do.
Yeah, absolutely.
He's also got to think about this too, is when you're chasing a guy down as far back as you are, typically you tend to overdrive it, and that's the one thing that he can't afford to do right now is overdrive that thing. He has a fast race truck. He knows that. He needs that, that this is where the spotter and the crew chief really come in handy for these guys to keep them at even keel and keep them running those lap times he was running when he was leading this thing. So as long as he doesn't overdrive it right now, it's really going to burn the tires off. That'll destroy his chances of making it up there to possibly battle for the win. But it's a fine line when you're in that race car, because you really just want to go as fast as you can every single lap, but you really got to pace yourself.
The gap right now, 16 and a half seconds between Daniel Eberhard and second place Matt Lacrosse. We know that Corbin Hemstreet is going to have to come down pit road. However, he leads it right now with 69 of 90 complete. Just 21 to go here at Auto Club Speedway. Matt Lacrosse, Dwayne Vincent, Chad Cole, Tim Matthews, the rest of your top 5. We're going to take one more quick break, come back and bring you to the finish here on LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
Domino's TYJ Racing League is proud to announce we are now taking driver applications for our $2,500 purse inaugural season going green January 2016. At Domino's TYJ Racing League, you get paid cash, not gift cards or die casts. Cold, hard cash. You get paid for finishing 1st through 20th in our championship and 1st through 3rd, plus a lucky dog bonus in all of our 20 races, plus other cash bonuses. You're going to like the way you look. All the way to the bank. I guarantee it. Purse amount approximate, paid cash or iRacing books. Drivers carry less than $20. Report unsafe driving to local authorities. Apply today at Domino'sTYJRacing.com to see if you qualify for our league. And join our preseason Thunder tryout races Saturday nights at 8 p.m. through the end of 2015 to see if you have what it takes to make the cut and some cash. Domino's TYJ Racing League is proud to announce we are now taking driver applications for our 2000.
Welcome back to LSRTV. We are now working 17 to go. When Corbin Hemstreet comes to the line, he will not make it there. Corbin Hemstreet to pit road right now. He was your race leader in this Outlaw Truck Series race on LSRTV. We're going trackside. Cisco, leaders headed towards you.
Yeah, he's still got a little bit of right front damage on that number 41 machine, but like you said, he was looking for a caution, and he just didn't get one. And we talked about it. He could only go for so long, and this is kind of the limit of how far he could make it on that tank of fuel. So here he comes to hit pit road right now. It's going to be 4 tires right now, but that's basically going to take him out of the race right now.
So as Hemstreet pits, that cycles the lead to this battle between the veterans. Matt Lacrosse, Dwayne Vincent, Chad Cole, the 21, the 11, and the 8 running very tightly in formation. Your top 3. They've got Tim Matthews, Austin Yarborough behind them, but the driver that is trying to chase them all down, 14 seconds back, the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt. Matt Lacrosse leads the way, 16 laps to go. The gap is now, as they cross the line, Eberhardt clocks in about 13.6 back of the leaders with 15 and a half laps to go. Cisco kept saying earlier in this race, it's going to be close, Andy. I think it's still going to be close.
It is. I mean, like I said, it's going to be all based on how hard he's driving that thing to try to catch these guys right now. And leaders right now are doing a great job, pretty much just staying in line, kind of working off the draft, which is helping their tire wear. So it like Cisco said, and I'll take it right at it, it's going to be close, but we'll have to see how it plays out. And I like seeing Chad Cole in that 8, finally getting that win on Monday night a couple of weeks ago, breaking that couple-year drought he had. And now you see him, the confidence really flowing, even though he's not going to run the full season in either the trucks or the Icebreaker series. So it's still good every time you see him in the car to see him up front and having a good race. And you know he's got to be pretty happy with how he's running.
Yeah, anytime the number 8 is towards the front of a field in an RSR race, it's a good day. Eberhardt, 13 seconds flat. Back of the race leaders. Matt Lacrosse stretching it out just a little bit. 3 car lengths. Let's pick up the battle for the lead. 21, 11, 8. They're in turn 1. Lacrosse, Andy, starting to take it out just a bit. It's 5 truck lengths.
Yeah, there's 5 truck lengths right there off of turn number 2. Vincent looks like he's still struggling with a little bit of handling right now as these tires start to wear off. He's got the 8 of Chad Cole. You've seen many times over these RSR seasons. These two guys battling it out, obviously, with the veterans that they are. And just when you say Matt Lacrosse is pulling away, the gap has actually shrunk back up there. Looks like Vincent's a little bit better in 3 and 4 than Matt Lacrosse is. And Matt Lacrosse, maybe it's just that corner. I mean, obviously these corners look similar, but they still drive a whole lot different. So the entry points are different. You know, when you can get picked back throttle up's a lot different too. So just basically for these guys, if they can maintain somewhat of a close distance from each other and keep that draft going, that's what's going to keep them close.
13 laps to go. It'll be 12 to go when they come across the stripe. Delta back to Eberhardt, 11.7 seconds. So for Matt Lacrosse, he's just trying to hold on. The Parker Store and Die Hard Chevrolet Silverados of Vincent and Cole second and third behind them, trying to draft together, trying to catch that battle for the lead once again. It is to turn one. Vincent and Cole on the inside, Lacrosse working the outside in the middle of the racetrack down the straightaways before he cuts back to the bottom. It looks like, though, Andy, he can't quite get to the white line in the middle of the corners like the 11 and the 8 can. That's where they're making up a lot of their time. It's 2 car lengths as they head for 3.
Yeah, that entry to the corner high and able to turn down from center off, that's going to give them a straighter line off the corner, which is going to carry the momentum down the straightaway. And I think that's the 11 and the 8 just have that line figured out. Currently, Matt Lacrosse just trying to, do everything he can to keep it down towards that bottom line. But I think that straight shot off the corner is definitely what's helping the 11 and the 8 at least maintain their deficit right now, as it sits about 4 or 5 truck lengths right now currently as they run through 1 and 2. But off turn 2, you can see that gap really start to close again, and we're going to have a battle for that second spot here now as Chad Cole looks to the inside of Vincent. That's a great battle heading for turn number 3.
Yeah, Chad Cole knows it's go time. He's got to be out front if he wants a shot to win. Chad Cole moves around Dwayne Vincent as they'll see 2 hands from the flag stand this time. 10 laps to go. Chad Cole to second. He knows it's time to chase down Matt Lacrosse if he wants any shot to go to victory lane. Daniel Eberhardt is a 10 seconds distance back of these race leaders. He has moved his way to the 7th position, but the time that he is making up is starting to tail off a little bit. Cisco, I don't think he's going to get there.
Nah, he's been kind of he's been picking up about 0.8 a lap, and I just don't think he's going to have enough time. He really needs those leaders to start fighting between them, and it's just not happening, and that's really kind of putting the nail in the coffin right now for that 89 truck. But if they start racing each other, you never know, and it looks like Lacrosse just got in the wall a little bit there.
Yeah, he did, and that's proved the crossover. 9 laps to go. New leader Chad Cole out in front. That's going to give Cole a big advantage. 5 truck lengths in turns 1 and 2.
Yeah, unfortunate mistake right there for the 21, and Matt Lacrosse is going to cost him that top spot right now, and it looks like as they go off of turn number 2 right there, Chad Cole, a great run off the corner. That's going to give him the advantage, pulling away still as they battle now for second spot. Dwayne Vincent looking to the inside. The damage on the 21 might be hurting him at this point. Hurt the handling. Now he's going to struggle as he tries to keep that second spot. Not going to happen. Move Vincent up to that second spot. See if he can reel in Chad Cole.
Well, that's exactly what the 89 of Eberhardt needed. He was able to chop a second out of the deficit last time by. It's now 9.5 seconds. Make it 9 seconds even with 8 laps to go now. We're closing in on the finish, and he's still not going to get there, but it's been a valiant effort and a shot. Chad Cole, though, 0.6 of a second, 8 truck lengths in hand. He's 8 laps, make it 7 when they come back to the line, away from a second victory in just a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's just what the doctor ordered right there. When you're on a drought for as long as you are, it just seems that everything, once you get that victory to end the drought, it just seems like everything clicks. And for right now, Chad Cole, that's exactly what's happening for him in that diehard Chevrolet right now as they head back into turn number 1. Still continues to pull away, almost 0.8 of a second now currently over Dwayne Vincent. Matt Lacrosse still continues to fall behind, now over a second away from the lead. Eberhardt, not just some more time off there, 8.8 back to him. He's in 7th.
It's tailing off, though. He's not going to have enough time to get there. Cole, Vincent, Lacrosse, your top 3, a podium of veterans right now. As we work 84 of 90, 6 laps to go when they come to the line this time. And Chad Cole nearly a second in hand now. Dwayne Vincent fading as we work into the final stages.
Now the tire wear is starting to catch up now to Dwayne Vincent and Matt Lacrosse, obviously with the damage. Vincent's going to try to hang on to what he can in that second spot, while Chad Cole really just set sails now on that checkered flag, looking for it to come pretty quickly. This next time by, it'll be 5 laps to go. He's working his way down the back straightaway, continuing to pull away from that 11.
Yeah, Cole running away to hide now. And, this is what we talk about all the time with Chad Cole. He is a master of waiting until the right time to go. And when he goes big. You see him, just shoot out like a rocket in the final stages of a race. If he can get the lead late, he won't give it back. He'll bite into it like a shark. He's done that tonight. The gap nearly 2 seconds between he and Vincent now, and Eberhard has gotten held up in traffic. He moves all the way to 5th, but he's 8.4 seconds back, and with just 5 laps to go, no way the 89 strategy pays off tonight.
No, it's not going to pay off tonight, but he's got to be at least somewhat satisfied that he's gotten himself back up into that top 5 area. So a good race truck. It's not going to go to none here tonight. Obviously, getting a top 5 is going to help him out in the standings anyway. So able to rebound like that, like he did on that 2-tire stop. It wasn't the race-winning strategy, but it definitely at least got him into that top 5 position as Chad Cole continues to just stretch the distance on right now, over 2 seconds over Dwayne Vincent. He's got that thing on cruise control coming to 3 to go.
Yes, he does. He is just running to hide, and Eberhard only a 10th faster. Even on these older tires, Chad Cole, and Cisco, I think you can speak to this for listening onto his radio as much as you get to do down there on pit road. Chad is a master of maximizing his equipment regardless of the stage he's at. He's working almost 45 lap old tires, still able to run laps as if they were 25 or 30 laps old. That's just the kind of driver that Chad Cole is, and what he can make happen in one of these race trucks in the closing stages. 3 seconds over Vincent now.
Yeah, like you said, just 3 seconds. I mean, he stretched that gap to an unbelievable level. Looking back at Eberhard, he's now 8 seconds back, but Cole has just done an amazing job at saving those tires for this last stint here, and it's really going to pay off because he's going to see popsicle sticks when they cross the line here. 2 laps to go for Chad Cole.
2 to go for Cole as he works across the stripe. Coming this time by, he'll put a lap on Anthony DeBarro. And for the diehard Chevrolet Silverado, that's a very pleasing sight. I mean, Andy, he has just shot out like a cannon over these final 10 laps. He wants to make sure that there's no question who the best truck is at lap number 90 this time.
Absolutely. Looking for that all-elusive white flag the next time around here as he works his way into turn number 3. Chad Cole riding the high, riding the momentum off of the big win at Michigan a couple of weeks ago, and now he's going to look for another win here in RSR. So continuing to pad the all-time stats for Chad Cole. He's doing it as he come off turn 4.
He sees the white flag as he crosses the stripe this time. Chad Cole knows this party is going to end in 2 miles. To turn number 1, he goes for the last time with a 3.6 second gap over the rest of this field. And Andy talked about padding the stats. It's going to be his first Outlaw Truck Series win in quite some time as he's going to flash across and over the number 13 Travis Burke's in trouble, headed for turn number 3. But Chad Cole going to add his name to the Outlaw Truck Series win list as we work off turn number 4, the 8 in victory lane again. Chad Cole, a winner here at Fontana, California, 68th career RSR victory, and his first Outlaw Trucks win of the season in just the second race. Dwayne Vincent second, Matt Lacrosse third, Tim Matthews, Daniel Eberhard, the rest of the top 5. Eberhard back and makes it to 5th, Andy, but doesn't get any further than that. Tires were worth a lot, but like I said when these guys started pitting as early as they did, I thought from the beginning that the time you would save was going to be more important in only making that one stop tonight.
Yep. You look at it, 7 seconds is what he was able to save by not coming down on that for that extra pit stop. So for him, obviously the strategy, and you look at it, it's the veterans that made that strategy call, and it got the job done and got them the win. And I think Daniel Eberhard probably learned something a little bit here.
Eberhard, I'm sure, has learned something over the course of this race. Chad Cole, a brilliant drive, leads to victory lane once again. The diehard Chevrolet Silverado burning it down on the front straightaway at Auto Club Speedway. And we'll chat with the race winner in a couple of minutes when we come back. Cole continues to make it happen. And from Auto Club Speedway in Fontana, California, we'll have the post-race show after this. You're watching LSRTV, the voice of sim racing.
as he works through corners number 3 and 4. The Peak Antifreeze, the team at number 58. And unofficially, he will come across the line as the 2015 NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series champion. Kenny Humpy will win his first title.
This is what it's all about, Tim. Simply put, now look at Ottinger and Humpy. Ottinger running defensively, Humpy following every bit in his tire tracks.
Side by side going into turns 3 and 4. Humpy's got the advantage, but Ottinger's not going to.
Oh, he got into him!
Ottinger gets into the 58, turns right into him, and that ends Ottinger's run.
Kenny Humpy will go to victory lane.
Kenny Humpy now looks for the lead on Nick Ottinger, working lap number 61, closing in on the halfway point.
At a corner number 4, checkered flag in the wind, and for 2 weeks in a row, it's going to go to Kenny Humpy in car number 58. Pace car off, and Humpy's gone. Green flag flies. What a flying start for that number 58.
Kenny Humpy has a 3-second advantage over the rest of the field. We've only completed 42 laps, and that 58 car is hauling the mail.
Kenny Humpy, you can't argue with the setup he's got under his car. Last time around, he picked up an extra 1/10 of a second over Ray Alfalla.
And that means Kenny Humpy will have won his 3rd NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series race of this short season. Kenny Humpy takes the lead. That tells me that car is just what we have seen in the past. Very fast early, but extremely fast late. Super balanced and a long run race car. Kenny Humpy, dominant here at Dover is an understatement. 30 laps to go. The pace car is off. Kenny Humpy again on the loud pedal.
It is the 58 car of Kenny Humpy who will round 3 and 4, come up to the checkered flag, and he'll win his 4th race. And your point leader going to extend that point lead in a huge way. Checkered flag at Michigan, and round number 9 of the NASCAR Peak Antifreeze Series goes to Kenny Humpy.
Welcome back to LSRTV, the voice of sim racing and coverage of tonight's RSR Outlaw Truck Series event, presented by Hippie's Paint Shop from Auto Club Speedway. Jacob Seelman, Andy Kessler headed down towards pit road and Gatorade Victory Lane to catch up with some of tonight's top finishers. Your race winner, the Ada Chad Cole, for the 68th time in Outlaw Truck Series competition. But first, we're going to throw it down trackside and catch up with some of our other podium finishers. I believe down alongside the 21 of Matt Lacrosse, Cisco Scaramuza is pit side.
Yeah, I've caught up with the Foxhead number 21 Toyota Tundra of Matt Lacrosse. And Matt, man, you got into the wall there out of 4, and it looked like that was just kind of hurt the truck there. Was that kind of what happened there?
Well, yeah. The setup got tighter and tighter, and I just overdrove the corner, and it just felt like it wasn't going to hit the wall, but I'm like, right at the last second, I'm like, oh, it's going to hit the wall, and it was too late. So Chad was right behind me, and I was maybe pushing a little harder, trying to stay in front of him, but I wasn't going to catch him. He was much, much faster on the longer run.
But still a great run for you at Auto Club. Talk about your race. I mean, you were looking stout out there. We saw those guys go in trying to stop it. Were you going one stop all the way, or was it a last minute kind of, I'm going to do this?
Well, me and Chad were talking to each other, and he's like, yeah, I bet everyone's going to try to short pit at lap 30 and just try to make it on 2 stops. And as soon as we hit lap 30, I checked my fuel, and I said, that's 17 laps. And I was like, man, I can maybe make it to halfway if everything works out. Maybe I can do this on 1 stop. So it was close. I mean, I was spitting and sputtering on the cooldown lap down the backstretch, so I had just enough, and Chad had just enough, and I think Dwayne, he pitted the lap before me and Chad did, so he was even closer than that. So yeah, we just hoped that it would stay green and we could do it on 1 stop, and then we knew we had a chance.
A great run for you, though, here at Fontana. Who gets it done for you here?
Well, I thank my teammate Chad for making that great strategic call. I would have never been paying attention that much to do that, so I'm only up here because of him. And then Fox Racing, Quick Car Racing Products, all you guys at LSRTV, you guys do an awesome job. RSR, probably the best dang league in iRacing, in my opinion. I'm not trying to be biased or anything, but great racers, great drivers, great people, and I had fun.
All right, well, that's pretty happy Matt Lacrosse right there. He finishes 3rd, and I believe Andy's caught up with our 2nd place finisher.
That's right. I am down here on pit road with our champion, Dwayne Vincent. Dwayne Vincent had a great run here tonight, coming home in that second spot. And Dwayne, fantastic run here tonight. Obviously, a one-stop race for you guys. Was that the game plan going into the whole thing, or was that just something you guys decided to do when you saw those leaders come down that first time around lap 30?
Well, I was just saying a minute ago, I can't believe those guys sharp pitted like that, but well, I pitted one lap too soon, actually. I still had enough fuel to go another lap, and I had to save at the end. That kind of messed me up. So, but once we saw, on lap 30 or whatever it was, when I saw those guys pitting, I looked at the fuel, and I said, well, hell, we can make it halfway and make it a one-stop race. So that's when we decided to do that.
Well, obviously, it became the right call for you, getting you that second-place finish here tonight. Obviously, only the second race in the season. It doesn't allow for much issues. You have maybe one bad race, and you still can be able to contend for the championship. You guys were able to come out of here with a second-place finish at California. One of the probably most fun tracks I would imagine to run on in these trucks.
Yeah, it's a blast. I love California. I actually like it in all this A, B car, it doesn't matter. It's really a fun track. After Talladega, we had a really bad finish at Talladega, so we needed this. It'll certainly help.
Well, you get one of the mulligans out of the way with the Daytona race. You still got another plate track later on in the season, so hopefully you don't have to burn another one there, because obviously that would hurt for the championship bid. But second place finish here tonight. Pretty excited about that. Moving on to next week. I think we have a week off actually because of Christmas. So enjoy your holidays. But before we go, sponsor shout outs. Who gets it done for the 11?
Radius Motorsports, Mom and Dad, LSRTV, and everybody at RSR. We appreciate it.
There you have it. Driver of the Parker Hydraulic Fittings Chevrolet, Dwayne Vincent, second place finish here tonight. But one guy that's on a roll currently right now in that number 8, that's Chad Cole.
Yeah, Gatorade Victor Lane. I feel like I've done this before. 2 wins in RSR in 2 weeks. And Chad Cole, 68th time you've done this, but the first one in the Outlaw Truck Series to this season and for quite some time. I mean, this series has really only been done a couple of times in RSR. It seems like every time, though, it's competitive. You get it done tonight, lead those final 10 laps and lead the money lap. Talk about the strategy in terms of just doing it in a one-stop race, and then the battle between you and Matt and Dwayne there in the final laps, because y'all put on a show.
Well, I'm glad you enjoyed that. Coming in tonight, I didn't really plan on qualifying, so I just rode around, did a couple laps trying to get a feel for the thing. I got in the server kind of late, so I was going to have some fun and start in the back, and I figured guys would start pit at 30, because that'd be about the 1/3 mark, and so I looked at my fuel, I had 17 laps remaining, so that'd take me past halfway, so I figured we'd roll with it, and Matt did the same, and we were kind of able to draft off each other a little bit, and was able to squeak by them at the end there.
You squeaked by. What were you thinking when you saw him tag the wall off turn 4? I know you were right there just about up on him, and everybody had to be a little bit heads up to not get all stacked up and get in the back of everybody there.
Yeah, it kind of started between 3 and 4. I saw him, he was running a little bit high, and I knew that push. I felt that push many times earlier in the race, and he would have to back out or hit the wall, and unfortunately he hit the wall, and he said he was going to give me a good battle there, being teammates, but he made that one pretty easy, unfortunately, for him.
I mean, there was no pressure, was there, at the end of that race, knowing that you had your teammate up there and even somebody in Dwayne? I mean, the three of you guys have raced together so many times in this RSR league. You probably know pretty well how each other's going to race in a closing stint like this.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, and Dwayne, he pitted a lap ahead of us, so I saw him pit, and I was like, oh, Dwayne, I don't know if you're going to be able to make that 40, 44, and 46 on that final run. I don't know if you can make that. And sure enough, he was having to save there at the end again, and I kind of knew that, so I didn't really have to I wanted to kind of race him somewhat to just kind of get past him in case he did have to pit or had trouble or something, but oh, man, feels good.
I'm sure it does. I mean, 2 wins now in 2 weeks across 2 different series in RSR. Is this the old Chad Cole coming back? Are you finally feeling like you're in a rhythm now where you can come out and kind of knock some people around a little bit again? I mean, you're starting to look like the guy everybody remembers in this league.
I don't know if I'm 100% back. I feel like I'm definitely making strides to get there again. I'm not putting a whole lot of time in practicing. As I said, I mean, I came in about 10 minutes before the qualifying started, and I haven't seen this track since we raced here in Full Throttle Cup, and so that's been since like April or so. I don't know. I like to think so, but I know still got a long ways to go yet to get that back.
A very humble Chad Cole, I think, and we've seen that a few times. And, that's also a dangerous driver when you can just get in that mindset, Chad. I know a lot of people go into this. Who do you need to thank or give a shout-out to tonight?
Yeah, my crew chiefs, Jimmy and Matt. Jimmy, he decided to go for the 2-stop strategy, and that didn't quite work out for him. It was always fun hanging with those guys and shooting the breeze with them. So I got to thank those guys. LSRTV, you guys do awesome broadcast. Jacob, Laura, everyone, Cisco, all you guys do fantastic work. I love going back and watching the broadcasts.
It's always fun to watch and always fun to catch up with a guy that makes Victory Lane fun as well, Chad. A winner tonight. Congratulations again, and we'll look forward to seeing you here in a couple of weeks after the holidays. Best wishes to you and the family as well.
Thank you. You too.
That's it from down here in Gatorade Victory Lane. Chad Cole, a winner again here in RSR. We'll throw it back trackside. Cisco Scaramuza, the main guy on the 2-stop strategy, comes up with a 5th place finish. Daniel Eberhardt tonight.
Yeah, I caught up with the driver in the number 89 Cornerstone Church Chevrolet. And Daniel, we were saying it all night. It was the catchphrase of the broadcast. It's gonna be close, and you had us thinking, was the 2-stop strategy gonna work? In the end, it didn't pan out, I'm sure, the way you wanted, but still 5th place. Talk about your race.
It was long. It was very long. It was 90 laps of just wide open and just hoping that them guys would run out. You're just sitting there with your chest pumping and hoping that Chad and Matt and Dwayne will run out, because I thought I could catch Tim and probably give it a little bit more if I had to go catch Tim if they ran out. But all in all, it was a good race, and I was really proud to be a part of it.
Talk us through, you saw those guys kind of stay out there, but, you were committed to your 2-stop strategy. Did you kind of, once you saw those guys were out on 1 stop, what was kind of going through your mind there?
Just to stay focused and don't let it get to me. And I heard one guy tonight say he ran out on lap 45 coming in for the first pit stop. So that has you thinking you got to go an extra lap. And you know that it's a 2-mile racetrack and the corners are long and so are the straightaways. So you can't really save because you're going to lose a whole lot of momentum with the momentum-based truck. And so I was just doing a lot of thinking in my head, just trying to stay focused, but think about if Chad's going to run out, and it wasn't meant to be.
Well, still, your consolation prize, you finished 5th. A great run for you there. Who gets it done for you?
I'll pretty much do it myself. I'm pretty much with Justin Michael. I have a teammate down there in the truck series, Justin Michael. It's fun racing with him, and really just thanks to all you guys who put on a great broadcast, and thanks to RSR for putting on a great league.
All right, well, that's your 5th place finisher, Daniel Eberhardt. Tried the 2-stop strategy, didn't work, but we'll see you on Monday.
Thank you.
We'll bring it back topside, Cisco, and take a look down the final results tonight. You heard from 4 out of your top 5, led by race winner Chad Cole in car number 8, or truck number 8, rather. Dwayne Vincent, the 11, comes up second. The Parker Store Machine, Matt Lacrosse, is third tonight. Tim Matthews, the 54, a nice run for him. He comes away with a 4th place effort, rounding out the top 5, going to be the 89 of Daniel Eberhardt, who you just heard from. 6th with Mark Bratcher, 7th Bobby Wetzel. 8th went to Chad Coleman. Stefan Marinak, after leading a few laps and being close to the front tonight, comes up 9th, and Ross Cato, the 90, rounds out the top 10.
Coming home in the 11th spot in the Adidas Chevy Silverado was Randy McCanny. Alex Bergeron, the young rookie who had a really good fast truck, started second. Looked like he was going to run in the top 5 all night. He ends up coming home in that 12th spot. 13th went to CJ Lever. Justin Michael started on the pole here tonight. He'll end up finishing 14th. 15th goes to Mike Kelly. Aaron Bennett finishes 16th. 17th is Scott Simley. Thomas J. George finishes 18th. 19th is Brian Harvey. And Doug Roth rounds out the top 20.
Behind him, 21st, the first truck 1 lap down tonight was Jimmy North. Anthony Nabarro, 22nd. 23rd goes to John Abbott. 24th, Scott Bolster. 25th was Kevin Linden. Austin Yarborough, 26th. 27th to Paul Fugate. Rodney Perry, 28th. TJ Kelly, 29th. And 30th, Corbin Hemstreet.
31st tonight was the 09 of John Ehlers. Donovan Johns will finish 32nd. 33rd goes to Travis Burke. Donald Jenks finishes 34th. 35th goes to Steve Ritter. Sean Haverly and Christopher Gore, both retired early from this, will finish 36th and 37th, respectively.
That's a look at your Ford performance. Final full field rundown. Ford, go further. Tonight's race started with the 87 of Justin Michael on pole, and at the end of it had 13 lead changes between 8 different drivers and no caution flags tonight. A caution-free race that took a total of 1 hour, 2 minutes, and 23 seconds to complete, with Chad Cole ending up the winner here at the end of 180 miles. Gonna get ready to head home for the holidays, and LSRTV gonna finish up a lineup of programming. Christmas week is next week, Andy, so we all, I think, are gonna get a much-needed break, but definitely a good way to go into the holiday break. Chad Cole picking up an Outlaw Truck Series win, and really not in dominating fashion. In fact, I think you might almost call this a surprise tonight.
Yeah, he could. I mean, listen, we had a bunch of fast guys that should have been up there. Eberhard, obviously, one of those guys early in the race with a car to beat. Alex Bergeron, a rookie, had a great car or truck here tonight. A couple other guys with the number 31 Austin Yarborough. We expected more out of him here tonight also. And just some trouble happening. And you got to look at those guys, the rookies of the series, and you hope they hang their heads high, because running up front with these veterans like they were for pretty much 3/4 of this race, you got to tip your hats to them. They're doing a great job in here, and hopefully the frustration of where they finish isn't something that'll carry over into the weeks to come, and especially over the Christmas break. Plenty of time to practice, plenty of time to get more seat time to get ready for the next event, and that's exactly what a lot of these guys will do. But it's also time to enjoy everything with your families, so hopefully everybody does that as we here at LSRTV finish up a few more broadcasts up to Monday night, and then we get a break, like you said, almost a whole week off. So pretty cool deal for everybody, and hopefully everyone has a good time.
Yeah, going to be a lot of fun. And a special thanks to Cisco down on pit road. He was busy working it down there tonight and had a lot of fun during this one. A caution-free race. Chad Cole adds his name to the list of Outlaw Truck Series winners. First career broadcast Outlaw Truck Series win tonight for Chad Cole. He picked up a non-broadcast win several years ago, back in the early days of RSR, but this one tonight, he adds his name to a list that includes Jeff Ward and Dwayne Vincent as winners in all 3 RSR divisions. A very exclusive club. Cole finally gets it done and celebrates tonight in Fontana, California. So one more time, congratulations to the entire 8 crew. The diehard Chevrolet Silverado gets it done tonight at Auto Club Speedway. For our entire crew, including Andy Kessler in the broadcast booth with me, Cisco Scaramuza down on pit road, Laura Lawson, our executive producer, and John Abbott and all the fine folks here at Real Sim Racing. I'm Jacob Seelman, reminding you to keep it off the wall until we meet again, and we'll see you next time on the web. Have a safe racing weekend. Bye-bye.